If you have to see this sock in the pictures, that's what I carry my GoPro camera in. I want to talk about Clematis. There's a lot of mystery about Clematis. It's not really that difficult. Lulu, I'll put her channel in the description box. She said hers never blooms. There's a couple of things they like. They like sun, 6 to 8 hours, and they don't like their feet, the roots, to get hot. Now this is our rain barrel sitting on a very substantial thing, so I can't really move it. But if this wasn't there and the sun comes up that way and comes overhead, so it gets about 8 hours of sun, and it has bloomed profusely. But if this was exposed to the sun would bake the roots. See that stone, paving stone? That marks the entrance to our septic tank for clean out. You need a stone like that, or multiple large stones, but one big one like that over top the roots, so that the roots will not get hot. They do not like hot roots. They like cold feet and hot hair. All right, there are 3 kinds. There are A's, B's, and C's. It does get confusing. Years ago, there were 1, 2s, and 3s. 1 is a A, 2 is a B, 3 is a C. But now they're basically A, B's, and C's. Now, if you know the name of your Clematis, you can look it up, and it will tell you what it is. And they'll tell you that will tell you how to prune it, because they're all pruned differently. If you don't know the name of it, they generally say you're in trouble. Not if it's growing. Because the A's are the kind you see all over gigantic walls. They have hundreds, if not thousands, of flowers on them. The only thing you take off of them is dead wood, and you cut all the spent flowers, the little spidery balls. Otherwise, it just grows forever. So you're really limited to B's and C's. This is a Jacquemini. I might pronounce it wrong, but it's been a long time since I took French. And this one is a C. Now a C blooms on this year's growth. And you see those flowers up there, and you see that flower, that is growing on this shoot. And that is this year's growth. If you had a B, it's growing on old wood. So you would have it everywhere. If you've got an old Clematis like this one, and it's got a lot of flowers at the top and none at the bottom, you have a C. And what you do with those is you cut them off about a foot from the ground, and they will send up new shoots. And it will send up shoots, and your flowers will be down here. Now this has sent this much up. Now I'm going to very gingerly, when I remove all this, pull all this back down. But this has come up this year from the ground. And by pruning it off at like 12 inches, it will force the roots to send up new shoots and send shoots up off of what you cut off. And you'll have a mass of flowers right here. If you leave it alone, the mass of flowers will go up, because it'll be on new growth or anything that comes from the roots. But if you have a lot of stems in the middle, the roots are supplying those stems, and they probably don't have any extra energy to grow new shoots. Now, last year on a weed whacker, I knocked a couple of these off down there, and that's why this has come out. So I need to gingerly get this out and bring it up to that level, pull this all out of the way, prune this boxwood, just to give it some more room. And that's what it is about Clematis. If it's blooming at the top of your bush, you've got a C. If it's blooming all in the middle, you got a B. And if it's an A, it is blooming all over, and it's a monster plant that you never would have cut. But you can't let the feet get hot. You got to put, I don't care what you put, bricks. I got one across the street, and I've just got 2 bricks over there. But you really need a big, large, flat stone, so that when the sun hits the stone, it will dissipate the heat, and it will not get to the roots. But if your roots are exposed to sunshine, and it's not getting very much sunshine, that's more than likely why it's not flowering. This is a clematis on our gazebo. See, I have stones there to keep the roots from getting too hot. And this is same jacamame, and see how it's growing, and it's going to produce flowers at the top. And there's nothing here, and that's a new shoot. So all the old wood that's not producing anymore would really need to be trimmed out of here. But you really have to follow it carefully, because if you want to have those flowers there, you can't cut its active shoot off. But if you just cut that all the way across, right across there, it will send out new buds and new shoots, and you'll get new ones come up from the roots. And it'll be twice as big as this next year.